What if Lorcana cards were in Magic the Gathering? Lorcana is a card game featuring all of your favorite Disney characters as you race your opponent to boost your way to 20 lore points to win. Many people have associated Lorcana to Magic the Gathering as you can tap creatures for different effects and use cards in your hand as mana, and because of that, I'll be making these cards as if they were from Magic the Gathering. The first card I'll be converting is Gramatala, a 1 cost, 1 attack, and 1 health Sapphire character with the effect when this character is banished, meaning when this character is destroyed, you may put this card into your inkwell face down and exerted, the ink being your mana pool to play cards with. If I were to add this card to Magic, Gramatala would become a 1 green cost shaman creature with 1 attack and 1 toughness, with the effect sacrifice Gramatala to place 1 basic land from your hand to the field tapped. I don't think there are any creatures in Magic the Gathering that become lands when they die. However, there are cards that sacrifice themselves in order to place extra lands, functionally having the same effect. Even if the way they leave the field and add mana to your mana pool are technically different, you do have to have a land card in your hand in order to use the effect, but it might be a bit much for a 1 cost card. Gramatala has a green cost associated with her, as green is the most well known for ramping up your mana pool. Next up is the Beast, a 5 cost 4/4 steel card with the effect when you play this character, banish a chosen item. Items in Lorcana are non-character cards you can exert to apply a stat boost and effects onto other characters. This is an easy card to add, becoming a 5 cost bear cat human with 4 generic and 1 red, and the effect when this card enters the battlefield, destroy 1 artifact on the field, as artifacts are filling in the same role as items. I made the Beast a red cost, since Steel's ability destroy items is a mechanic red cards usually do. The third card to be converted is Elsa, a 3 cost 2/3 amethyst character with the effect exert this card to exert another opposing character. Elsa would then become a 3 cost 2/3 elemental shaman with 1 generic, 1 white, and 1 blue, and the effect for 1 blue cost, tap this creature to tap target creature. I added in the effect to tap for cost, as the only other card I could find with a similar effect is Blinding Mage, requiring 1 white mana for tapping creatures, as tapping cards in Magic the Gathering is a lot more powerful, as in Lorcana, all it does is make a character susceptible to being attacked, but in Magic the Gathering, it makes your opponent unable to block attacks, as they need untapped creatures to defend themselves. Many creatures need to be tapped themselves in order to activate their effects, and tapped creatures cannot attack, meaning you need to add some cost to activate this reusable ability. I also made this card require a white cost as well as a blue cost, as white is a class that taps single enemy creatures the most, and blue because Elsa uses ice magic. Next card up is Cusco, a 5 cost 2/4 emerald character with ward, meaning you can't target this card with spells or abilities, and the effect when this character is challenged and banished, you may banish the challenging character, translating to when this card dies by battle, destroy the card that destroyed it. Converting this card would get a 5 cost 2/4 aristocrat, costing 3 generic and 2 red with hexproof, meaning this character cannot be the target of your opponent's spells and abilities, and the effect when Cusco dies, you may pay 1 generic and 1 red. If you do, for each creature that dealt damage to Cusco this turn, destroy that creature. Now, you may be wondering why there's this extra cost added to Cusco's destruction effect. This is because the only other card with a similar effect to this is Giant Albatross, having the exact same cost for its effect. However, your opponent could pay 2 life to protect each of the affected creatures. I also made this card have a red cost, as his overall demeanor is in line with red. I got an interesting card for you, Stitch, the Rockstar, a 6 cost 3/5 amber character with the keyword shift, meaning you can pay 4 mana to play this card on top of a character with the exact same name, and the effect: whenever you play a character with cost 2 or less, you may exert them to draw a card. If this card were to be added to Magic the Gathering, it would be a generic 8 cost alien Eldrazi with 3 attack and 5 toughness, with the keyword emerge, costing 5 generic and 2 blue, as well as allowing you to play this card on top of another creature you control in order to reduce its cost, similarly to how the shift ability works, as the card you play over it in Lorcana is usually the original 2 cost Stitch. And with the same effect, whenever a non-token creature with mana value 2 or less enters the battlefield, tap them to draw a card. Now, Eldrazi is not a creature type I would normally give to a character like Stitch. However, the only cards that have an emerge cost are Eldrazi creatures, and I'd rather make him an Eldrazi than give the keyword to an incorrect type. This card also has a blue cost, as blue is the best known card type for drawing. I've got another card for you, Captain Hook, a 7 cost, 5/5 Ruby character, rounding out the set of color types, with the keyword Rush, meaning that this card can attack the turn it's played, and the effect: all characters with evasive also gain Reckless, translating to all characters that can't be targeted for attacks unless they are also evasive must attack every turn that they are able to. Converting this card to magic would make Captain Hook a 7 cost, 5/5 pirate creature with 5 generic and 2 red, and the keyword Fight, allowing this card to challenge another creature and deal damage based on their attack value. It would also have the effect: Shroud, Hexproof, and Ward creatures your opponent controls attack each combat if able, while forcing cards that cannot be targets of spells and abilities to attack. Isn't the same as evasive characters. The effect still deals with cards whose only outs are usually by battle. Captain Hook has a red cost, as Fight is usually a green or red keyword. The last card I will be converting will be Tinkerbell, a 3 cost, 2/4 steel card, with the effect: exert this card to draw a card, and then discard a card. Converting this card, Tinkerbell would become a 3 cost, 1/2 fairy soldier with 1 generic, 1 white, and 1 blue, with the effect: tap this card, draw a card, and then discard a card. First of all, this card was way too strong to have this effect for Magic the Gathering standards at its current cost, so I had to cut her attack and toughness in half to accommodate. I also gave her a white and a blue cost, not only to make it harder to summon her, but because white is the most common card color for soldiers to have, and blue because she draws cards. This was a nice episode adding Lorcana cards into Magic the Gathering. If you think there's something I should have changed, or a card game I should add into Magic the Gathering next, please let me know in the comments below. Even though people claim Lorcana to be the Magic the Gathering killer, it really acts as a one-round Gwyneth game with a Hearthstone-like battle system, and what the pledge mechanic should have been from a simplified digital Magic the Gathering-like card game, choosing between playing a unit or playing it for mana whenever you wanted, instead of exclusively making that choice on your first turn. The only thing that's similar that Lorcana has to Magic the Gathering is a tap and exhaust scheme. So I don't know why everyone's saying it's the Magic the Gathering killer when it's just what a non-generic modern trading card game looks like.